here today, so we all understand that it's quite a lonely business writing, and probably the readers here also know what a lonely business it must be, putting the words down on the page. And one of the best things that happened to me was meeting the Triskele team online and starting to, this microphone's really hard, starting to share some of our work together. And Jane's work particularly struck me. She's got an incredibly elegant style of writing, and she's got something that all writers need, which is utter page-turning readability. And so I was so delighted when she asked me if I'd read a small excerpt of her novel today. I hope I do it justice. This is a small section where Zenobia and her half-brother are coming together to meet. I've got to get this name right. Odenathus, okay. It might be because I'm southern and you're northern.
Yeah.
Odenathus, okay. So, the sun reached its zenith and an eagle cried overhead, a great squawking beast flying to and fro across the sun's path, casting an ever-moving shadow. I've never been a man to take note of omens, and I took none now. Even so, I couldn't help suspect the significance in the bird's presence. A good omen, Zenobia said. She rode with me, circling the camp, not straying too far from the king and the meat we waited for. She couldn't keep still, even after our long ride the day before. She was a leader, always on her feet, always wanting to move and to be going forward to reach for some distant goal. And I was a follower. I realised I wouldn't be riding if she hadn't asked me, and yet I was content to do as she pleased, to accompany her. How different would I have been had I grown up in Julius's home instead of the dockside? The thought troubled me. I was Zenobia's half-brother, Julius her father, and not mine. She was her mother in looks, with a long, strong nose and black eyes, but in spirit she was ever her father's daughter. The eagle may well be a good omen, but for what? I said. She was in front of me now, hair whipping back, skirts trailing further still as she picked up speed. Who knows, she shouted. We'll find out. Nothing good can come of our meet with Ballista, I called back. He'll not look lightly upon our refusal to join him in his quest for Imperium. The meet is a farce, she called. It's Odenathus' way of showing diplomacy and making the Romans think he's open to discussion. He must always be seen as a good man. He thinks he is righteous. Her words carried on the air back to me. Was Odenathus righteous? Everything seemed so complicated. True enough, he always desired to be seen to be doing the right thing, protecting the realm granted to him by Rome. He never fought back. He never rebelled against his overlord. But did it make him good? I watched Zenobia closely, wondering if she was righteous, if she was good. She wore a cloak, loose and billowing as we picked up pace, testing the horses, running them proper. On her arms were leather bands, the same as those I wore to cover my slave mark. They would serve her well when she pulled back an arrow, protecting the skin of her wrists when hunting. The king loved to hunt, and Zenobia too, but there was no time this day as we waited for the man who sought Imperium in Rome. I saw them first, distant specks on the horizon, plodding a path along the road towards us. It seemed their pace was slow, and I shouted to Zenobia, but my voice was drowned by the sound of horns sounding from the camp, heralding the sight of the Romans. Zenobia pulled on the reins of her horse until it came to a standstill, and she looked out at the approaching men. I stopped beside her and watched too. It's difficult to know whether to think of them as the enemy or not, I said. I thought on that much. They were pretenders, so I suppose they were with their claim to the title of emperor. But then, this was as it always was in Rome, one emperor succeeding another through military might, and not by the succession of father and son. My mind skipped back to Zenobia's words about being good and righteous. What was right and what was wrong? To gain power, you must kill. To hold it, you must also kill, no matter the good you do. To never want power is to simply watch the evil in others. They are Romans, Zenobia replied. They're neither friend nor foe. Come, this should be an interesting meet. I pray to the gods. It would be less interesting than the last. Thank you.